Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today my guest is Mia Maelzer, who has worked on projects such as Stolen and The Braid. So do watch the whole video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So my first question is it true like you are grandniece of Satyajit Ray?
You start with all the information that has to be hidden. um, yeah, technically, my grandmom and the Ray family, it's the same family basically. We are from the same background of origin in the same city, but um, it's more to do with the culture in the literature and the family rituals and all those things are more common than anybody directly in cinema. Like, I think he's the first person in my entire family demography where I could feel that okay, there's one filmmaker, like that. Because the family is filled with painters and many other professions like sports and writers and majorly painters and lawyer and uh, journalists and all of that. That's the larger family, but yes, by blood, I too have understood that we are connected.
Okay, great, ma'am. So, ma'am, what inspired you to become an actress, ma'am? Like from your childhood, you were interested in acting, like, or is it during your college days or your school days?
So, I started as a classical dancer when I was 3 years old, before even I could have my understanding of what I'm doing. I started doing it. And my mother had put me in a very prestigious dance academy where Birju Maharaji would come to take our exam yearly. So that was the environment I was growing up in, with exposure to sports, which again is performance. So, not very clearly I wanted to be an actress, I would say, because it was also forbidden in the family. Yeah. My granny is majorly responsible for why I have taken to this profession, because she comes from a family of that huge background and stuff, and because they were all her cousins who were every day, in some corner of the newspaper, these people are getting celebrated, good cinema is getting talked about, and she's from the literature background and all that. Oral literature is flowing through these ladies. They crossed the border and they had lots of stories. So I was growing up almost with this storyteller, but not realizing that I'm also learning performance art. So yeah, that was how the childhood had been, but I was professionally understanding I would become a sports person.
Which
So I
sports?
was athletics in school nationals. I was part of that, and there met with an accident at a very young age, and that's when I could not do athletics under my uncle. He was the chief coach of Sports Authority of India at the time, and all the Olympians were training with me, like the India Olympic team representatives, like Shoma Vishwas and Sanjay Rai. I was growing up with them, so I understood I would not go that far, and family pushed me to take up shooting because I was very yeah, like I had some aptitude for that also, but I was not interested. That's when I started escaping, and I was growing up in a film school environment. The SRFTI, the film school, was coming up at that time. I was 13, 14, 15 when the school, I think, yeah, around that time. I was a teenager when the school started coming up in the city. And every day we were reading something or the other. So I was growing up in that campus doing theater
Oh,
because I could not do high end sports like extreme performance sports. I was using my physical abilities on stage, because also I had dance background, so it was very easy for me to understand. It's like cross the stage,
Yeah.
or the rehearsal space. My first exam was like my first audition was actually, I was asked to. It was not exactly an audition. I was invited in a rehearsal, and it was a German play, and I was too young, and the director just told me, "Can you cross the space diagonally?" So I understood the word diagonal, and I understood I have to do it like horse step. There's a particular step, and yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I mean, they saw I did it very grammatically right, and rest of this is all discipline and perseverance.
Okay. Okay. And ma'am, what did you study like in your graduation days?
So I am from Calcutta University. My major schooling had been in Xavier's the school in Panihati, and then I graduated from Calcutta University with communicative English, and we were the first three batches who started this subject in Calcutta. So basically, I would go into multiple college and universities to attend lectures, because Calcutta University per se under one roof was not equipped at that time with our subject. And it also had mass comm as part of it, not the main. But yeah, I mean, that was the generation where mass communication was becoming a subject, and our generation was getting trained to become teachers of that. So I'm from that time. Yeah.
Okay. And ma'am, did you always wanted to go to NSG or like did you found somewhere like how did you get
No,
there?
um, I didn't know what was NSD until Rituparno Ghosh, who's no more now. He told me about it. He spotted me actually at a tribal festival, and I was dancing like crazy. And he happened to put this in my ear that there's theater. He told me like you should do theater, and I didn't know what he's talking about. And then he told me about film schools, acting schools. So I had a notion that acting school is only in Pune, where you need a lot of money to study.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said that back to him, and
FTI.
he,
You're talking about
yes,
FTI.
I knew about FTI because every Bengali more or less knows about the school because of Mithun Chakravarti,
Yeah.
who's been a student. Yeah, so, and we know the story, like how he had to, um, sell his mom's jewelry to go there. And I was like, under the impression my mom's got no jewelry, so I will never be able to study there. So, but no, yeah, actually, Rituda at the time told me that there's an institute in Delhi where if you crack the entrance exam, which is going to be very difficult, you will get stipend to study. And that became an inspiration at that time, yeah.
And you were also given a role for Maricom, if I'm correct,
Yes, yes,
and you choose to go
yes.
to NSG.
Yes, yes, yes. I was cast and getting trained with Umang sir, like under his team at Yash Raj Studio and boxing places and all. So I was basically getting trained to be a boxer in Maricom, and they would give me free burgers and everything to eat. So it was very good experience, but at the same time, I cleared NSD. I mean, fortunately, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes, Adil Hussain sir advised me. I was very confused.
Okay.
Whether to, I mean, how to say no after taking money and
Yeah.
giving your things. So no, he empowered me at that point to know what I really wanted. Sometimes when we are young, we don't know what we really want unless we are asked that kind of question by some senior, and he was there for me at that time to guide me. Yeah.
How old were you, ma'am, at that time?
I was 29.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
And ma'am, what was your experience in NST, ma'am? Can you say like most crucial?
It was fantastic. Generally, everybody would say very fantastic, but no doubt it was fantastic. But it was also very tough, very very tough, because we come from non-Hindi speaking states,
Yeah.
and the first challenge is to understand the language in a way that you're confident to perform in it. You're not only learning the language. I was exposed to Hindi in school also, always ignored it. I don't know why. But if I had known I would be an actor, I wouldn't have probably. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know that I would be part of a Hindi film industry ever, because I wanted to be an actor, but then again, I wanted to be a Bengali actor. I never thought Hindi industry, that I can tell. So yeah, it was challenging for us, but luckily mm, we learned so much, and the competition is so high at that level, because everybody knows that they are going to make it if they make through these 3 years, with full focus. So I was highly focused, I would say, at school. So nothing became much of a problem. Yeah, of course, bullying and all those things are there. So yeah, it just made me more mature.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, you also went to France and New York to study acting as well. Is it correct?
No, I never went abroad to study acting anywhere. All the teachers who taught me, international teachers, including Lee Strasberg's son, David Strasberg, they all came to India to teach me. I never went anywhere. Yeah,
Great, 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 great,
I've been very lucky that way.
great, ma'am.
All on scholarship, mostly.
Wow, great. And ma'am, what
Yeah.
was your first job in film set, ma'am, if you can remember?
First job, like I said, I was growing up in a film school. So as a teenager, I would know that they're going to do some film diploma and all of that. So I would sneak in and tell them that I'm an adult and get cast because I needed money and I liked working in front of camera.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, I enjoyed it. I knew that. So see, when a child starts enjoying something is when she or he is capable of doing it very promptly. If I were not good at it, I don't think I would have stuck around this long. But probably because I was able to take instructions well
Okay.
from people. So I was like this monkey, and they were the Madari making me dance. So I was doing whatever they were telling me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And ma'am, your experience in Beyond the Clouds, ma'am. Majidi sir directed
Oh,
it,
that's
and
my first film.
okay. So
That's my first.
your
It
experience.
released today, actually, 7 years ago,
Oh,
20th April as we talk.
wow,
Yeah.
great
So
experience.
yeah, that was a film school for me. It was one of the most crucial moment also because, see, when I got the job, nobody told me who's the director. After getting the job, I was told that I'm going to be working and reporting directly to Mr. Majidi. So I had all the foreign projects that I have worked so far. I don't remember reporting to anybody in India. I always had to report directly to the director
Okay.
as an acting coach or as an actor or production designer, whatever capacity I was. So Mr. Majidi's set, I was reporting directly to him because he was not very satisfied with the casting before I was hired. They already started, and
Okay.
he was not happy with the kids he was getting. And
Okay.
I was constantly working with kids. I
Okay.
teach acting. So they got to know of me and they knew that I'm working in the same genre where he is locating the films, and his films are a little different than
Yeah.
other films. No,
Yes.
Iranian films are very expressive, when it comes to emotion. It's very deeply expressive and raw and real.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter whether you're an actor or non-actor, he knows how to make you act.
Okay.
So that has its own process, and I was very good with that because I was already working with international filmmakers in Calcutta, assisting them and all that.
Okay.
So yeah, that experience I brought in, and what I learned is how to make a film. I learned it, like how to have, like, I think my first time, even though I was growing up in a film school and all that, my first time getting involved in more or less all the department started from that, because he was trusting me with all that
Okay.
responsibility, so yeah, I mean, even the producers were very, very confident about what I was doing. So um, they still are in touch and they love me a lot. They gave me a lot of small gigs after that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Ma'am, are you interested in directing a film?
Yes, I did direct a film. During COVID, I've directed one film. It went to Toronto Asian International Film Festival, like South Asian International Film Festival, and um, I'm eventually going to make film, but I'm currently only writing them. So after making one film, I know what I lack,
Okay.
you know, and or what I need, both.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is that time. But acting is keeping me busy, so
Okay. And ma'am, your experience in a short film called The Field, ma'am.
incredible. I had no idea how far I can push myself in terms of working in front of camera. And the process that Sandhya, who's this year in Cannes with her debut feature
Yeah.
narrative, Santosh, I worked in that also in the pre-production a little bit for BBC.
First of all, ma'am,
But
congratulations. I wanted to say congratulations
thank,
to.
thank you. Yes, yeah. It's quite an achievement to work with Sandhya, actually, because she is also someone who's from the academics of cinema, no? Like she's teaching cinema and all that in London. So her process to get me involved was very, very organic. And so basically, she did not tell me until the very end that I am going to be playing Lalla. She was making me involved, she was getting me involved in the whole casting process. And she was making me do all these scenes that you see me doing in the film comfortably with probably her, relative's driver,
Yeah.
you know, in a room, just to make sure that I'm comfortable with non-acting people and I'm comfortable with the class, that I'm going to be representing. And so, no, she was doing her own examination in herself, but she was not telling me that it's my exam that I'm crossing. So I was very happy. I was thinking like I'm going to be helping her with. Basically, that's how the project came. People just tell me, "Do you want to help with the casting and all?" Yeah, yeah. Why not? Why not? Yes, of course. And then they were looking for this, that. Then I tried the scene with Purnanand, who's the other actor, and so it was. Then Vittal came. So I tried testing with all of them. Same scene I'm doing with this guy, that guy. So through that, she knew this is my Lalla. So when we went, I think, yeah, she told me little before we went on the research trip.
Okay. Okay. And how long was the shoot, ma'am? Shooting days?
It's long ago, not a very vast schedule. I remember we um, didn't, like, how to say, like, we left from Delhi. Uh, I was already draped in sari and stuff, like in costume in the car, just to, go to the location and get familiar, like to get familiar with the location. They took me to have an orientation, and then a few days gap again in Delhi, and then we went directly to shoot.
Okay. Okay.
And in one go, yeah, in one go. Not very long, but I can't be accurate in quoting exactly how many days.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, your experience in Stolen, directed by Karan Tejpal, it's not released yet. It's doing its festival run right now.
Yes, yes. It was brilliant. It was the most, I think it is the most challenging role I have played on screen. I can say that. I mean, of course, the Braid was also challenging, but Braid was personally challenging at many level because um, I, as an actor, didn't struggle that much in Braid, but as me, as a woman, I was struggling a lot because I went through so much, in the Braid. But in Stolen, as a character, I struggled a lot. I mean, I don't think any of my character went through so much violence, so much on screen. I'm saying on
Yeah.
stage, of course, I've done even more complex stuff, but on screen, I don't remember doing anything so like I it was something I can't think of me doing,
Okay.
it was Karan who pushed me
Yeah.
completely. I don't know what gave him that confidence because I'm so tiny and I'm not at all in life anywhere close to Jumpa.
Yeah.
But Abhishek kept on telling me, "You are Jhumpa." I mean, he was shocked at the level of violence I had inside me, and he was like, "You're too violent." I said, "Am I?" That's that. So I also didn't know what happened within, but I was desperate in that film, like desperate. Never been that desperate in my life
Okay.
for anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, are you doing any other projects right now or in theaters? Like, are you doing any plays?
Yes, yes. Currently, so basically, I have this company of performance arts training and stuff. So we produce little, plays and stuff and like that. So our next production is currently on. Like we are in the pre-production, I would say. Rehearsals and all are starting. The scripts have like the script is finalized and we are moving there. And in cinema, yes, too early to even say anything, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm clearing a lot of auditions recently.
Okay.
Like I've cleared a few, and yeah, as I go on floor, you'll know because I don't think I'm allowed to say.
No
Yeah.
problem. Ma'am, it's a really broad question. Like, what is your acting process, ma'am? If you could tell.
I work on, yeah, so basically it depends role to role, also medium to medium. For stage, I have a different process than cinema, but broadly, my process begins from the research. First, I get to know of the story, the character, everything is exposed to me. But I start from investigation. I start investigating um, the physical person, the physical person, whether it can be an abstract character also from nowhere. But then again, I have to embody it, right? I have to behave in that way and perform that way. So I try to find the physical body first. I always, like most of the time, I have been successful in work mm, when I have chosen a character path from physical to psychological mapping. So I treat acting like mathematics. In my class, I teach it like mathematics, which is why not only actors, a lot of directors and writers also work with me as a student because I teach them this like mathematics formula. So when with Stolen, I would say when I was working with Karan, He came with a character sketch. We didn't, I mean, of course, it had dialogue, of course, it had scenes, but it was still very, it was not as fleshed out as you see Jumpa, the character. So, what I did was I took that sketch of what I found and I went to where she is. I started investigating and meeting such kind of women and bringing the body, the voice, the mannerism, and everything. So I started stitching them together, and then I allow the crisis of the script to fall on that person. So I don't have to act when I'm in front of camera. I'm already that person. I'm just getting a situation. Like, for example, um, Akash is right now wearing headphone, talking to me, nodding his head. That's your physical movement. But suddenly there's a spider behind. You would not become somebody else to react to it. The Akash will only react, right? If you are real and solid sitting here. So it's like that. So the script is nothing but a situation for me. I build the character and I walk. And then it's director. I mean, I don't mug up too much. I forget a lot. I mean, I'm really very bad with remembering things. So for me, if I know the body, I know अगर इसको यहाँ कुछ हुआ है वो यहीं खुजलाएगा वो अगले सीन में यहाँ नहीं जाएगा तो कंटिन्यूटी जर्क होगा नहीं you know that also helps because I've worked in set like I've been part of continuity projects and stuff, so you learn all these from stage a lot.
Uh,
So
okay. And ma'am, your favorite films and filmmakers, if you could recommend some.
a lot, a lot. I think that, I mean, it's so big. Like, I'm 40 years old and I have been working professionally for 24 years. This will be 24 years now. And I'm watching cinema from the time I'm born. So you can imagine it's a huge list, but I love Bengali cinema, of course. I love, so many directors in India and also France and America. I mean, it's strange, but I do like American film also. Um, like I would say let's just start. I mean, if I go too far, I mean, of course, all the films that you see as classic, a classic for a reason, and I like it for sure. Um, but my most favorite recent films that I have watched is Anatomy of Fall. You know,
Justin Trier.
because see, I mean, I'm giving a popular example. I could have spoken to you about a film you might not have seen it, but I'm telling because audience is going to watch us. I want them to look at Anatomy of Fall as something where writing is going, performance is going.
Yeah.
I like Poor Things. I'm not saying that I didn't like Poor Things. The performance of Emma is like mind boggling. I would love to do a role like that. But if you ask me as a filmmaker, what am I working on? What kind of cinema am I seeing myself in? I would say Anatomy of Fall out of the academy selections. When it comes to the world cinema, like of other parts, I would say I have been part of a great cinema like Stolen. I would want to do similar kind of project. It's one of the best films that had come out of India in recent years. Once you see it, you will know why I'm saying it. I'm not saying it just because I'm part of it. Of course, I'm proud of that, but I said yes to this team because they were doing something breaking the norm of normal narrative, and their film is not lacking any kind of entertainment, if quote unquote that is required for independent cinema to sell. But what we are successful at is keeping the idea of cinema as a movement alive. We all get up in the morning to change the world. I don't know if anybody wakes up like that, but I definitely wake up in the morning with a hope to change the world because I'm not satisfied with my world. And that's why I choose cinema as my medium to express. And I think Stolen fulfilled that desire in me. Braid fulfilled that desire in me. I don't work in cinema just because I have to be seen. No, that doesn't excite me. Yes, I want to be seen, but definitely for something meaningful that will stay for next 20 years, 30 years. People will say, okay, they did some project like that. So yeah, that kind of cinema. And my favorite, of course, I like Ray. I mean, I've studied him not like a filmmaker, but also as a storyteller because my granny explained to me where his stories are coming from. So that kind of knowledge bank I have. I like Mrinalson. I am a big fan of Riti Ghatak. These three filmmakers have impacted my life majorly in doing what I do. I like Money Call about recent filmmakers. I like Amit Datta. The
Mohammed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kind of film that he made uh, excites me as a performer. And these are the projects I would probably not do to become famous or anything, just for the pleasure of doing good cinema. Mr. Majidi, of course, has, I mean, he was in my bucket list that one day I will meet him, but I didn't know I will be part of his world one day. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, I like Tarantino. I like new guy who's very. I just happened to meet him at Venice. Also, he made a fantastic film. Uh, drive or something
Drive my car.
like, huh?
Drive my car.
No, no,
Jab.
just drive.
Okay,
Winger,
okay,
something.
okay, okay. The Ryan Gosling one, the jacket.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling one, yeah. So I like that because I see I'm very bad with names. So, but he told very interesting thing to all of us, and particularly when I had a direct question with him, he told me this that he's dyslexic himself, okay, and he struggles to navigate through this modern way of making cinema. He's trying to understand that, and his way of story is a little different because he's watching the world from not the normal lens. And that brought us together in a common point. And I was struggling with certain things, the technologies, like the implementation of technology in modern cinema making, and how do we stay at par and yet say a human story. He said very wonderful, very nice thing. He said, I haven't discovered this. I'm still struggling with it, but definitely what we filmmakers should now address is not only to make cinema for the technology smart population, but also focus at not so smart population, not so tech smart population. Because what is happening is my observation, and I was very glad that this conversation happened at Venice. Every festival you go, they are wanting you to become very dependent on internet. Like, you have to register on internet, you have to do this, you have to do that. But cinema is never made for only this educated people, you know that will be too selfish and one kind of cinema. I'm not excited to be part of such cinema group. I don't want to make cinema for people who are already so smart. I want to make a simple cinema which I can take to the village, put up a curtain and projector and showcase, and the tired migrant labor would understand what I'm trying to say. So that's the kind of story that excites me. That's the kind of cinema which excites me. But when it comes to showcasing that kind of cinema, it's not reaching there. So the West is now thinking, and I like those filmmakers who are not limiting their work in only this, you know erudite, upper class thing. Cinema was never made for only the upper class, you know, because it's a storytelling format. You cannot have a monopoly on it. It should be like democratized by giving access to everybody. People who are watching TikTok should enjoy my film, and then I will be successful. I see cinema commercially like that. Not that I have to put seven songs in it meaninglessly and make the girl show cleavage for no reason. But yeah, if it is a musical, if it is a film like Chamkila, what you've seen recently, you know, I've seen both the films, like Mysampur and Chamkila. Mysampur making and all, everything was discussed. I have like, so the thing is, see, that's the kind of spectrum we have. Who are we making it for? Where is the story and the message reaching? I would not make a film if I'm not able to show it to the larger population. I would rather, that's why I'm not making my second film.
Okay.
I would either make a film that would be going out to everybody, I can show it to every class of people, or I will not make a film. I would rather be a painter, because then I don't need to get people job, I can do painting alone. But cinema is a collective work. You have to ensure certain amount of profit and give the money back to the producer. Lot is involved. It's not like painting. So yeah. French filmmakers, like I would say most of them have inspired my taste in cinema.
Okay.
Uh, for example, Godard is one person like who influenced me a lot through four. I mean, watching through four when you were 13, 14, you know,
Okay. You.
makes. Yeah, for my problem is that most of the cinema, the classics that you see, I have seen them from the age of 6, 7, 5. Even the adult films of Ray, which people would not really get access. For example, is short film Piku. Uh, I watched it exactly at the age Piku was in the film, you know so I knew about all of this. Then Shekhar Kapoor's film in India, you know these films have moved me a lot because as a child I was getting access to watch their work and also sit through discussions around their work. Like I remember watching Masoom as a kid, also Mr. India and all that. But Mr. India too is like I've seen how many times I lost count because there are films you see, you end up watching multiple times, particularly that child, that child's death. So these are the films that prepared me for life, prepared me for separated. Like I've been a child who hardly had a big circle of friends because I was always so busy with my co-curricular work and everything that I never had a chance to sit down and make friends. So only family friends would come with their children and they would become eventually my friends. Otherwise, I never had that large circle of friends, gang. They it all happened later in life, but they're all filmmakers, not like normal people. So when I was watching Masoom as a kid, and I also watched Piku at the same time, I knew about divorce. I knew about parents not being in love with each other and, you know, third person in a parental, basically, it's a geometry for us always, na relationship.
Yeah.
As a child, we only look at the relationship like straight line or my world, like a
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
So the triangles were already opening up to me. So my judgments were already not formulating based on the society because I believed in cinema. I saw things getting very amicably justified in cinema. So for me, it was very normal. So actually, problem happened when I grew up. and I realized that the world is not as we see in cinema. It's much more backward, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
You're growing up on French film, and you have that kind of teenage where you don't care about anything. The blur between Paris and Calcutta is always, I mean, the line between Paris and Calcutta, it has been blurred for me.
yeah,
For me, I'm the same girl as I would be in Paris or anywhere in the world as I'm in Calcutta. But then suddenly I realized, no, it's different. I can't behave the way I would behave in a French film in real life,
yeah,
you know. So that corrupted me actually. I was growing up very good
yeah.
with all the female influences.
Okay, okay. Any young Indian filmmakers like past 10 years?
Uh, I like Rima's work. I have seen her
Others?
work. Rima is
Yeah,
very simple, and I could connect with her stories a lot, because it's not just one film I have seen. I've seen a couple, so I know what kind of cinema moves her. I like her. I really liked this. I mean, out of the major lot who influenced me in Indian cinema, um, I like the braveness that Mr. Kashyap had in his initial years and all. So I would love to collaborate and bring him back to those days, because he is doing a lot for our community. But I think as community, we all should also, you know, do something very much of his taste with him, and not just go to him for fame and big scripts and all. So yeah, what is his name? Motwane? What is his first name?
Vikramaditya Motwani. Vikramaditya
Yes,
Motwani.
yeah. He's good. Who made Shaitan? Who made Shaitan? I
Bijoy.
forget.
Bijoy.
Vijay Nambiar,
Yeah.
yes, I like his work, because um, yeah, I mean, so basically, all the filmmakers in India, when they do their first one or two work, they
Yeah.
are very good, and then suddenly, I don't know, everybody needs to have car and home and everything, so
Yeah.
probably that drives them more than making a good cinema and being critical. I don't care even if you quote me, but they know that I love their work when they're pure. So anybody who is a pure filmmaker, they are good. They are good. I like this Payal Shaunak,
Payal
you know.
Kapadia, Shaunak Sen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Payal's work has a very distinct style, and I have a lot of expectation from her also, because she comes from that world, you know.
Yeah.
She comes from the
FTI.
world of painting and cinema, you know, that poem, dialogues. And so she comes from that. The reason we come from a very similar um, background
Yeah.
in a way, although her mother is an artist, my mother never even crossed school,
Yeah.
but the art world exposure I'm talking, we come from very similar backgrounds. So I'm hoping this young Indian female filmmaker will change a lot of things. Then I really liked a very sweet filmmaker. Her work was there in LA with us, Shazia.
Yeah. Yeah. She made a short film.
Yeah, she made
Yeah.
a film with uh, Sarah,
Yeah. Produced by
Shohel
Anurag.
Hashmi's daughter.
It was produced by
Yes,
Anurag.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, must have been. So, Shohel Hashmi had been our teacher at NST.
Okay.
So his daughter is in it,
Yeah.
and what a simple little, you know, take on everyday life of this girl, you know, who's standing with her ambition. So I like these kind of small cinema filmmakers who are dreaming of changing the dialogue. They are very good. And I like Karan Johar also.
Okay.
Yeah. I really liked the way he made Rocky and Rani, the recent one,
Yeah.
because I understand the pressure on him as a commercial filmmaker. But see, I am that girl. I have seen Kuch Kuch Hota Hai so many times in my life that it will be snobbish of me to say that I don't like Bollywood. No, I'm sorry. I love Bollywood. In fact, given a chance, I can change a lot of things about what people talk about Bollywood, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not like how big or small the film is, it's how honest
Yeah.
and how important the dialogues in the films are,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Some like Dilwale Dulhaniya ले जाएंगे,
Yeah.
आप बताओ, आज भी वही इम्पैक्ट है.
Absolutely.
तो है ना, कुछ तो है ना उसमें.
Yeah.
तो ये चीज ना, गुरुदत्त मेरी मतलब गुरुदत्त इज माय, मतलब मेरे जमाने में वो होते तो शायद मैं उनसे इश्क कर लेती.
Okay. Okay.
हाँ,
Okay.
दिल तो मेरा उन पे है.
Okay. And ma'am, if somebody wants to become an actor right now, so what advice would you give to them, ma'am?
Get yourself disciplined and very grounded. Stay very grounded. Like, of course, actors' ego comes to play when we become that hero and heroine, whatever you call. बट जब आप काम बना रहे हो ना, जब वो बन रही है, तो ये एनवायरनमेंट, जिस एनवायरनमेंट में आप काम कर रहे हो, उनकी भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हमें हम्बल रहने देना चाहिए. क्योंकि हम जितना हम्बल रहेंगे, जितना डिसिप्लिन रहेंगे, आपका काम अच्छा होगा. क्योंकि लोग डिसिप्लिन नहीं रहते हैं. छोटी सी बात है, आप सेट पे पहुंचोगे, आप लेट कैसे पहुंचोगे? तो आपकी तो बॉडी स्टेबलाइज ही नहीं होगा जो आप अच्छा परफॉर्म करोगे, है ना. तो
Yeah.
एंटरटेन कैसे करेंगे उसकी बात नहीं कर रही हूँ, मैं एक्टिंग की बात कर रही हूँ.
Yes.
एंटरटेन तो आप कैसे भी कर सकते हो. आई जस्ट ड्रॉप माई शोल्डर एंड यू नो सम पीपल माइट गेट एक्साइटेड, बट दैट्स नॉट व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग.
Yeah.
उसके लिए सब जल्दी जाने की दरकार नहीं है. लेकिन आप सीधा अपना स्पाइन को रिलैक्स रख के एक नए कैरेक्टर में घुसेंगे, तो यू कांट बी लेट ऑन सेट.
Yeah.
ब्रेथ मैच नहीं होगा ना.
Yeah.
एंड स्टार्ट फॉलोइंग गुड एक्टर्स वर्क.
Okay. Who are ma'am your favorite actors? Let's just say.
So many again, so many. My most favorite actor in the world, if you say, of course, Judy Dench is somebody I look up to. Tilda is somebody I look up to. Uh, Juliette, what is her
Binoche.
name? Juliette Binoche.
Juliette
No?
Binoche. Yeah. French
Uh,
actress.
yes, she's somebody I like. Meryl Streep I like. Um, Emma
Yeah.
Stone,
Yeah.
brilliant range. Um, I'm talking only about women now, then I'll probably talk about men.
Yes.
I like Chaya Devi. I like um, Madhavi Mukhopadhyay,
Okay. Yeah.
the seniors. I love Waida Rahman and Meena Kumari. The craft Meena Kumari had, I don't think anybody of our generation also got that. I mean, in Indian cinema, if you ask me, rate all the actresses in the world from Indian origin, who's your favorite?
Yeah.
Of course, I will say Smita Patil, definitely. But when it comes to being a crafty actress who never got caught for her craft, is
Yes.
Meena Kumari. मीना कुमारी से बेहतरीन अभिनेत्री हिंदुस्तान में आज तक नहीं पैदा हुई. इतनी बड़ी देश है, कितने अभिनेत्रियां हैं. तो मैं अगर पूरी लाइफ में थोड़ा सा भी उनके आसपास पहुंच गई ना, स्मिता पाटिल, मीना कुमारी, बहुत है मेरे लिए. they are really good. छाया देवी, because I think छाया देवी को हिंदुस्तान के बहुत सारे लोगों ने नहीं देखा है. छाया देवी is one of the actresses. अगर वो हमारे टाइम में जिंदा रहती तो उनको एकेडमी बड़े आराम से मिल जाता. लोग उनके काम के बारे में ज्यादा बात नहीं करते because these are very low profile, very elite aristocrat women,
Yeah.
but they kept a very low profile, media presence.
Yeah.
But their work is in every cinema in Bengali. Commercial, art house, क्या नहीं, stage. So yeah, Ila Arun is a very interesting actress for me because I have learned from her. इला अरुण,
Yeah.
मतलब उनके फिल्मों में उनको अच्छी तरह से एक्सप्लोर नहीं कर रहे हैं अभी भी इंडस्ट्री. किए थे एक टाइम में उनकी, आशुतोष गोवारिकर ने उनको जोधा अकबर में बहुत अच्छे से यूज किया. बट आई थिंक पीपल शुड राइट फॉर हर,
Yeah.
बिकॉज बहुत डेप्थ है ऐसे लोगों में.
Yeah.
मेल बहुत सारे लोग हैं. बलराज साहनी साहब इज फेवरेट. So many are there, na? So
Yeah.
many are there. I like Irfan, of course.
Yeah.
Nawaz is good. Uh, Nawaz bhai is still like growing. I mean,
Yeah.
he's. I believe he has not given his best performance. Because मुझे
True.
लगता है वो इतना दे सकते हैं ना. But yeah, so many are there. So many.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, that's it. That's the question I had, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Eh, It's
Thank
such.
you for talking and giving me this opportunity.
Oh, it's my
And I
pleasure. It's my pleasure. Um,
do well in life.